Hello everyone. So, I'm very, very happy today. Why? Well, Naughty Dog put out patch 1.003 for The Last of Us Remake, not on PC, but on console. They finally patched the console version. 7.5 months later. But, better late than never. They did it all in one mass bulk thing. So if you remember, a long time ago, how long ago? I was still fat. 4 months ago, November 18th, 2022, I put out this video that did pretty well. Things I don't like about Last of Us Remake, and I went over a bunch of stuff from shotguns to weapon sway to sprinting swings to reloading to a bunch of stuff. The video did very well. And this stuff had never really been fixed. All these months later, it wasn't fixed. We just had to deal with it. Well, these are the patch notes for the most recent patch. Here, I'll put it right here, and you can pause the video and read all of them. But yeah, what I'd like to do today is go. Where are we? Yep. What I'd like to do today is go over every single change that we've noticed. Like things that are in the patch notes, but also like the specific things that you wouldn't, that are a little generic on the notes there, but you can see specific examples here. So, and we're gonna go in order of the game. So, the first change is going to start in the intro. Now, it takes forever to get to where we need to go, so I'm gonna do a little editing. All right, so the first change is Tommy. So throughout my runs, there were two things that Tommy would do. One, I don't have volume on, but Tommy would either get stuck really far back and then take forever to run to the alley. Basically, he would take forever to, or he wouldn't follow us. That'd be the main thing. He wouldn't follow us. And something else he would do is if he did follow us, he would, sometimes randomly, just stop. So I haven't played around with this yet because it's annoying to go all the way to intro. Let's see what he does. What should happen is he moves faster. I'm just gonna do my normal thing here.
Daddy, I'm scared.
And let's see what he does. This area I never have a problem with, you know, NPCs getting in my way or anything. Runs were just always reset to Tommy being really far away. Oh god, I blocked him. But you saw, Tommy would never be on screen there. Okay, you can't get the Tommy push like the original, but it seems like he sprints a lot more. Let's see, where is he?
Get back! There's too many of them!
Oh, watch this though.
This way! Through the alley!
He keeps going towards the gate. That's the other thing. So yeah, two big positives there. If Tommy hadn't bumped into me, he would have surpassed me. He never does that. And also, he keeps moving towards the gate. Two big changes there. Casually, you wouldn't really notice it, but speedrunning, huge. Because I reset to those two things constantly. So, yeah, we got a lot of things to talk about. That's one thing that's different. All right, next spot is in right after intro, right after the truck explodes, and you're forced to use a med kit. Now, normally, you know, you hit up and then hold fire, and you heal. You're forced to heal. You cannot move until you've healed yourself. But there was something else you could do. The moment you were able to heal, you could restart checkpoint, and that would make it so you finished healing. However, you lost the med kit and you didn't get the health. But now, I'm on survivor mode, so the heads up display should be there. So Joel doesn't have full health right now. So right there, you restart checkpoint,
They're gonna close.
It places you right here. Again, I can't check the heads up display right now, but he gets the health back. You just got to trust me on that, okay? And that's a big one. That's probably a 3 or 4 second, no, probably a 4 or 5 second time save in a non-perma run. And I didn't do it on grounded because I needed the extra health for slums, wharf, and cargo. But now, yeah, free time save right there. So, yeah, that's doesn't seem like a big one, but that is a big one. So, and you weren't able to do that before. So, yeah, next area. All right, we're in the technically second enemy encounter in slums, and there's a lot to talk about here. This encounter is different, both in permadeath and a normal speedrun. Main reason being, notice when the game considers the encounter as started.
Gotta get Robert. Jeez.
Right about there. It went from checkpoint to both checkpoint and encounter. Normally, it wouldn't be considered an encounter until,
We shouldn't have taken this job.
like, right now. And because of that change, this area is different. That guy is a lot further ahead. So the strategy I normally do there doesn't work. That being said, you can restart checkpoint a lot earlier, which allows you to move right away. And then you just change up the strategy a little bit, like so.
Right here!
Just like that. That's one option for you. As for a non-restart checkpoint strategy, well, probably same thing. But the reason that one enemy is out of position is because the encounter is considered started a lot earlier compared to before. So a non-permadeath run, you restart checkpoint there, you save some time. Permadeath run, you probably do that strategy. Area becomes a little bit more complicated, but that's whatever. Another change. When a guy begs, normally the camera, like, forces itself onto the guy. Like, look at him, look into his eyes as you murder this man. It gets annoying after a while. It doesn't change the begging, but it basically, you know the strategy. If you turn the camera away from him, move around and mash square, you kill him a lot faster. But sometimes the camera forces its way back onto the guy. So when he starts begging, the camera won't go back on the guy. So it's a lot easier to kill begging enemies quicker, which is very good. Okay, now for the next one. How it worked before was with regards to melee. Melee is the next thing we're going to talk about, or combat. Let me get a video up. Hold on. Right, here we go. So when you're flat foot punching a human enemy, this is how quickly they used to just follow it up with another punch. So you punch and they immediately throw another punch. Like, you could not run away from them. You could not escape just throwing hands with an enemy, no matter what you did. They would get you, they would reach you. Especially the first one. Like, look how quickly he throws that. Well, I'm happy to report. Let's use you as an example.
Cover me, I'm moving up!
It's almost exactly like the original now. And that's such a treat. I don't even need to show it again. They no longer immediately throw a punch right after you. And I'll just save you some time. There was the same thing applied to a sprint punch to runners in this game. That's also fixed. They react. Actually, I'm pretty sure it looks very similarly to the original. They take a lot longer to recover. It was two things in here. A flat-footed punch on a human and a sprint punch on a runner. Both would recover immediately. They no longer do that. So, yeah. Massive dubs for that one. let's go on to the next one. All right, next thing, and this thing applies mainly in slums and outside the high school. You get a lot more consistent ammo drops. Here, let me show you. I normally enter here with 4 all the time. But sometimes... Here, I'll just show you. 1. Oh, ow. Maybe if I do the strat properly. Unless this area has changed. I don't think it has. I think I just messed up.
Good.
There we go. They are pretty much guaranteed to drop 1 here and 1 here. I don't know about this guy. Yeah, that guy's random. But almost 100% of the time, this guy will drop 1 and this guy will drop 1. Normally, this guy always dropped 1, but this guy most of the time did not. Sometimes would not. But now he's pretty much guaranteed to do that. The thresholds are still the same. With the pistol, it's 3 or less. Yeah, apparently this guy's guaranteed to not drop anything. I'm not sure. But yeah, this guy's pretty much guaranteed to... These 2 guys are pretty much guaranteed to drop ammo now, so now I'll always have 4 heading up there instead of 3 sometimes. Just to prove that's a thing, I'll just do it one more time.
Hey, we consolidated the crates in the south warehouse. Supplies are locked up.
Good.
Yeah, see, he drops it. And that's not just a coincidence, like, oh, he seems to be doing that. No, that's like a confirmed thing. You're guaranteed certain drops now instead of it being random. All right. And that also applies outside the high school with shotgun. I had one run where 17 consecutive infected didn't drop a shotgun shell when they could have. So, yeah. I don't know the specifics of the drops, but you're guaranteed to get a lot more, is my point. And that's not a fluke. Now for this area, we all know how many runs I lose.
Nice shooting, Tex.
We all know how many runs I lose to this part with the enemies poking out to the side. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, they no longer do that, which is huge. You no longer have to aim at that spot right there. Let's see if I can get this guy to duck. Here. Ow. Yeah, he no longer, like, takes cover over there. He'll pop up every time.
Hey,
So everything
consolidated the crates in the south
put together.
warehouse. Supplies are locked up.
Good.
Yeah, they peek over the top only. Because I was losing so many attempts. There's the confirmed drops right there.
I see him!
And I'll just wait for this guy to... Alright, he's not going to do it, but... Even if he was taking cover right there or there, he is no longer going to do that. So, yeah. Also, I believe the checkpoint for this area is also hit a little bit earlier. So that means if you want the med kit, but you don't pick it up in time, you gotta run all the way downstairs. I believe that's a small little difference. So, yeah. Good stuff so far. Alright, next one is at the end of Cargo right here. Basically, they fixed the ability for this guy to punch you out of bounds. Let me bring up a video example. I can't show footage like on my own console anymore because I'd have to unpatch the game and I don't feel like doing that. So I'm relying on either just saying what it was or some old footage that I have. So this enemy right here could sometimes, as you hit triangle, punch you, and you could either glitch the game out that way or he would knock you completely out of bounds and you die. Here's another example. I hit triangle, he hits me, and it like teleports you inside or something. Really weird stuff happens here. But the music, this is from my PS5. You're now invincible. You don't have to kill him, but you no longer have to hit triangle. Or you no longer have to worry about him hitting you after you hit triangle. Watch. See that? You're perfectly safe to hit triangle. The moment you hit triangle, you can't be hurt. That doesn't seem like a big deal, but I've reset probably 5 or 6 runs because I try to make it through there and he punches me out of bounds, and that's not allowed in a grounded run. It's a glitch that we just don't allow. So, yeah, I reset a run to that yesterday. It happens more frequently than you'd think. So, yeah, that's one I'm very, very glad they fixed. But yeah, that's it. Next. All right, next one is just outside museum where you move the crate, and I love this one. Normally, Tess and Ellie always, 1,000,000,000% of the time, block your way as you're moving the crate towards the little truck over there. But now, I'll show this off a few times.
Here we go.
They're just not there. So basically what will happen is, if they are outside when you hit triangle on the crate, and all the enemies are dead, they'll treat this like a wall. They won't try to come through this way. And Ellie and Tess will line up right there because the crate can't be moved past there. Even like before, they would take cover here and they would still get in your way. And if you kill all the enemies and hit triangle while they're inside, Ellie will like take the other way around into this building and they'll line up right here. So I'll show that off from the checkpoint right here.
Which way we going, Tess?
So again, you'll see.
Capitol building's in this direction.
If I hit triangle on the crate while they're outside, like they are, they won't try to come through, and Tess and Ellie will line up right there every time. So you have this area all to yourself and they will no longer block you because they did that a lot. But
Which way we going, Tess?
if they're inside the building when you hit triangle,
Capitol building's in this direction.
the way I'm going to simulate that is by doing this. All right, Tess is inside. She's not going to try and go back outside. She's going to line up there. Ellie wants to get inside as well, but she's not going to use this entrance. She's going to use that one. And she also is going to line up right there. It's almost like assigned seating. So this area is clear. The only thing that differs is if you hit triangle when they're outside, they'll line up there. If you hit triangle when they're inside, they'll line up here, and they'll never use this entrance as they'll never use this hole in the wall as an entrance. So it's perfect. And when you hit triangle, they go back there. You've no idea how much. This doesn't seem like a big deal, but you have no idea how much time I have lost to that. I've lost so much, and it's just done perfectly here. Perfectly. So yeah, big change. Really happy about that one. All right, real quick, I just noticed this one. If you go from chapter select and you select museum, normally, even in the original, it would place you outside the museum where you got to kill the 3 runners and move the crate. But now it places you inside the museum.
Okay, how do we get out of this place?
Again, small little change, but I like it because I never associated the part with the 3 runners surrounding the crate you need to move as part of the museum chapter. So, yeah. Small, but I like that one. All right, we're in Capitol now, and there are actually a lot of changes here. Let me go over the first one.
We'll go upstairs.
The first change is, I don't have a video to bring up at the moment, but you used to be able to leap over these things and fall to your death. The next biggest change, I think because of that, These enemies can see you, but they're not aggressive. They're only aggressive if you go loud. But I think the two are related. Again, you used to be able to leap over these things and fall to your death. If you look up an old Clips of the Month from when the game first came out, you can probably find it. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. And I think as a result of them fixing that, the enemies on the bottom level can actually see you now. But as long as they're alerted to you just with your movements, they won't be aggressive. Now, speedrunning wise, what this does to us is we no longer have to use a bullet. We can just get really close to the ledge and then start sprinting again. We no longer have to use a bottle or a bullet, which is really, really nice. Now, this strategy right here is different as well. They no longer spawn in the moment you go through the doorway. It's when you go through the doorway and about 3 seconds have passed. And right there, you can leap over the railing, like, right away, instead of only being able to leap over the second half of the railing. Again, before, it used to be...
Fireflies! Pin him down! I got him! Cover the exits!
It used to be you could only leap over, like, this part right here. But now...
Fireflies! Pin him down! I got him! Cover the exits! They're heading to the rear exit!
You can leap over the beginning part of it, and... yeah, I love that. Now let me go back to the, well, I guess we can do it from here. By the way, that enemies seeing you thing only works if you do it from the bottom floor. If you use a checkpoint right here, they will not see you. Now again, the main difference that I mentioned is normally the enemies... what was it? If you weren't alerted in the previous room, the enemies over there would spawn in when you were past here, and so was Ellie. It made their spawn times really inconsistent. But now, what they did, it's when you cross here, and this is no matter what, whether you're alerted or not. Before, when you were alerted, they would spawn in the moment you entered here. But they changed both things for it to be, you cross here, and then it's like 3 or 4 seconds later. And they'll spawn in at the same time every time. It's no longer dependent on her. So yeah. That's a lot of changes right there.
We'll go upstairs.
Not going to say they're all necessarily beneficial to us, but yeah, it's all stuff we can work with. So we no longer have to...
Target neutralized. Took out 2 of my men.
just hang close to the ledge and they'll spot you. That alert makes it so you can pick up the rifle without having to look at it. They no longer spawn in right now. Yeah, it's about 3 or 4 seconds, and this is the strategy that I do when I'm leaving here. And you can leap over really, really early now.
Keep your head.
So, yeah. A lot of changes there in Capital, and we're not finished yet. Hold on. Alright, so when you're running away from these soldiers, normally, when you get right here, the game gives you permanent, tired sprinting. I don't even know why. And it can't be regained by letting go of sprint. For as long as you're in this subway, the game used to always make you tired. I don't know why. They got rid of it. Look at Joel's sprint speed here. He may be huffing and puffing, but his sprint speed is, like, really, really quick. It's very, very quick. And I'll talk about sprint speed here as well. I won't be able to show it off here. Joel doesn't have his sprint speed, like, drained any earlier or later. It's still the same. But his stamina is regained a lot faster. According to Crooked, you hear me say Crooked a lot. He's a Naughty Dog dev that's in our chat a lot. And other Last of Us speedrunners chats as well. It's not a coincidence all these things were fixed. He took notes. What did he say? Hold on. Yeah, it used to be recovery started 0.25 seconds after letting go of sprint, but now it's immediately after letting go of sprint, and it's like 3 times faster than what it was. So, yeah. So Joel doesn't have more sprint speed, but he's able to regain it significantly faster.
You spot him? No, place is empty.
And also, yeah, in this area,
I hear you running.
he would normally be exhausted. But if you let go of sprint a little bit here and there, he regains it so much faster. And he's able to maintain it longer. When he's in the water, he doesn't have tired sprint, but in little spots where you're climbing something or you're doing that little step up onto the subway cart there, if you let go of sprint, it's gonna be regained. So, and even though he's huffing and puffing his movement, he's got the full speed. So there's a lot more we can work with here, and it won't be as big of an inconvenience anymore. So, yeah, I like it. Next spot. All right, now we're in Billstown. They fixed a glitch that would happen. Since I can't do it anymore, again, I gotta rely on old footage. If you had Joel's entire sprint speed, when Ellie opened the gate and you sprinted away from her immediately, the progression into the next area was triggered by Ellie closing the gate. But she would not close the gate if you got too far away from her too quickly. So that means she never closed the gate and the next area would not load in. And then you would just fall into the abyss and die. You could tell I was very happy when that happened. But now, well, pretty much it was fixed. Here, I'll do the same thing. Just sprint away.
Good job.
I think what they did... Yeah, it will not trigger no matter what now. Because before, that wasn't a fluke. We could get this glitch whenever we wanted. It was consistent. I think what they did is they made Ellie closing the gate. They made the progression of the next area loading in contingent upon Ellie closing the gate. But I think they got rid of Joel having to be close to her for her to do that. I think they got rid of that. So basically, Ellie will close the gate behind her no matter what, no matter how fast you move. So, yeah, no doubt that's what they changed. So the area works now. So, yeah, that funny, hilarious glitch that wasn't funny at the time will never, ever happen again. All right, this one's not a huge deal, but we're in the upside-down shooting area. And what used to happen here, sometimes, you've probably experienced this before as well, is, I have the volume on now. Listen to Joel's reloading here.
Shit, here they come.
Do you hear that right there? And I've explained this once before. Sometimes during this fight, Joel will, instead of reloading the entire gun, he'll reload one bullet and then reload the rest.
Shit, here they come.
So, listen. Right there, he only reloaded one, and then he starts it up again. He's supposed to reload the entire thing. Well, hold on. Here. Basically, no matter what, he'll reload the whole thing. And also, normally I would cancel the reload by like aiming and firing, but all you have to do is aim now, and he will cancel. The reload will be canceled. Again, I don't think that was the case before the patch. Before, I think you had to aim and fire to stop the reload. He wouldn't fire, but he would stop the reload. Now all you have to do is aim, and he stops the reload. It's just like the original. So aiming stops the reload, and the reload, he'll reload the whole thing in one go instead of one and then the rest. It's really funny when you get down to nothing. You can literally just fire it like this. It's kind of funny. That is an option, if you'd like. But I don't really remember if that was a thing before the patch, but yeah. It looks stupid, but it's efficient. So yes, aiming will now cancel the reload. But he reloads the whole thing. That's the most important part. So 3 bullets. He is reloading each one in each time. And when you get down to nothing... All right, right there I had aim. I was holding down aim. I think that plays a part in it as well. See right there, yep. Okay. So yeah, as long as you aren't holding aim when he reloads, and you don't aim in the middle, he'll reload the whole thing consistently. All right, we're in the spot where Bill's gonna kill this trapped runner, and the part with the tripwire before graveyard. Now, what used to happen here is the end of the area was triggered by, how do I word this? There's what, 6 infected outside? And you had to kill all of them, but you also had to let Bill and Ellie's dialogue play out. Infected, oh shit, lock and load. Now that would only play when both of them have left this building that we're in right now. But there were instances where Ellie lagged so far behind in this building, I would kill all the infected, and then they'd be like, infected! It was so weird. What they did is they made Ellie run here now. Before, she would jog, or even right now, she would still be on the stairs behind. So, yeah. Basically, this area now will end immediately the moment you kill the last infected every time. Instead of, like, maybe 4 or 5 seconds afterwards. So, right there. Again, sometimes I would kill the last runner, and then they'd still be conversing. Hey, infected! It's like, I killed them all already. So yeah, this area will now end the moment the last infected dies, which is very, very convenient. All right, Graveyard. There are quite a few changes in the entirety of Graveyard. And this is something I mentioned earlier, like in Slums, you're guaranteed a lot more pistol ammo dropped. In Graveyard, you're guaranteed more shotgun drops. Because I lost so many runs to lack of shotgun ammo entering high school. That's pretty much not a thing anymore. Now, the thresholds are still the same. Thresholds are still the same. So enemies will only drop ammo if you're at 2 or less. Now, if you don't get them here, you're going to get them killing some of the runners in the next area. But you're guaranteed one drop from one of these infected. If it's not him. If it's not him. Alright, so I didn't get a drop there.
Hold up.
But what is going to happen is I'm pretty much 100% of the time going to get a drop from this next runner. I'm jinxing this entire video by saying that, but he just dropped one. See that? If you don't get one here, this one almost always drops one.
Easy.
And I can, like, just do this over and over again. He just dropped another. And he just dropped another. That's not a coincidence. So if you don't get one dropped from the clickers, you're going to get one dropped there. And all you need is one drop. That's all you need. All right. This is the first time we use the bow. Remember the most famous glitch that we've ever found in this game. Weapon sway glitch. Well, spoiler alert, it's fixed. So if you're unaware, if you hold the string until Joel just lets go on his own, the weapon sway for the other guns would be multiplied significantly. But if we do that here, that's just this gun's normal weapon sway. It's unupgraded, and for some reason it's a little more intense on the shotgun. Yeah, weapon sway glitch is no more. That is probably the biggest thing I was waiting for to get patched. And it has been. No more weapon sway glitch. So happy about that. It's finally gone.
Easy.
I'm like, Frodo, it's gone. It's done.
You weren't kidding about this place, were you?
One tiny little thing I'm noticing, I can't help but notice it. When I fire, not when I fire an arrow, but when I like let go, the camera does a little stutter. Here, see if you can notice it. Hold on. Right there. Do you see it? Right, not right there. Right there. See a tiny little thing going on there? It's very small. It almost looks like a frame skip or something. Yeah, there's something going on there. In terms of like glitches that were added into the game after the patch, so far that's the only one I've noticed. And if you can't see it, then it's not that big a deal. But figured I'd point that out. All right, let's get to the next part. All right, doggy door. Everything AI-wise is the same. There is a big, big difference when you get to the treehouse.
This way. It's tied on the
So I'll
other
just do the strategy I know how to do.
What about going through here?
What, the doggy door?
So for this area, the way it used to work was, in order for the checkpoint to be hit, Joel, Bill, and Ellie, all three of them had to be like hopped down from the treehouse. In the original, only Joel had to like make his way down and the checkpoint was triggered. In the remake, though, all three had to be. And there's one little problem that can happen as a result of that. Hold on, I have a nice video for you. All right, here we go. All right, watch this. So when you're about to go down from the treehouse, I don't think Bill's going to show up. Normally, the checkpoint in the original would be triggered right there. But like I said, all three of them have to get down. Here's the problem with that theory. Are you kidding me? Dude, I always said this would happen. You're fucked. You're completely fucked now. Wow. I think I explain it well here. Okay. Here's another lesson for you. In the original game, you'd get a checkpoint when Joel landed on the other side of the treehouse, the other side of the fence, when he hops down from the treehouse. It's to avoid that from happening. Yeah, pretty much. Bill can get plus signed and killed, and there's nothing you can do about it. Basically, they made the checkpoint just like the original.
Maybe you should have given her a gun. Okay, Bill.
Liquor things inside the house.
So we're running through. We don't have to worry about Bill. And the moment Joel lands on the other side, you can see right here, the encounter is over. You checkpoint, and they're both right here.
I think we're good.
Now, the main problem with this is, yeah, that.
Nope. I'm good.
Bill's
Well, fine,
kind of a
just keep going.
slowpoke. We had a strategy involved. If you held sprint the whole time, and if you held sprint the whole time and didn't point the camera back at them, Bill would follow you very quickly. So this is a tiny little time loss. But you can keep the brick now. You don't have to use it on that clicker. But also, there's a couple little changes here. One, Bill no longer stands here and then goes towards the door. He goes towards the door right away, which is a good thing. But if we do what the strat was in the original game, which is fake going towards the door,
We're good.
go upstairs for the rag that you need, Bill ran into the room,
Let's just keep going.
Lay a hand with this.
and you see it's almost no time lost. So, yeah, if you don't want to get that rag, you don't have to. You can just run right into the room.
I think we're
You
good.
don't need sprint held down at all.
Damn those things.
Bill, as you can see, no longer walks
Nope.
to the garage door.
I'm good.
We're all fine. Let's
He
just keep
runs
going.
there, and he no longer stops at that
Man,
spot
this-
right there. So even though you're not able to do the fastest strategy anymore, implementing him running to his spot and not freezing at that random spot on the ground kind of counteracts that. So it's not a break even. I'd still say it's a little bit slower, but it's not by much, and it's not that bad. It also opens up some more gameplay opportunities because we don't have to use that brick on the clicker there because we don't have to worry about Bill getting grabbed anymore. So, yeah, overall, it's a quality of life improvement, I'd say. All right, now we're going to do outside the high school. AI-wise, it's the same. The biggest difference is what I mentioned before. You're pretty much guaranteed to get a lot more drops. I don't know which runners are like 100% guaranteed to give you what, but you're going to get a lot more drops compared to what you used to get. Also, Ellie is more likely to throw bricks and bottles. There was something with the way it was before. Hold on, if I can bring up the chat history here. Crooked said that there were some issues with that mechanic in this game before. Here, I'll just read chat right here. There were two issues that made that happen infrequently. Before she got her gun, there's a pose she did where she would hunker down, and that was making her ineligible to throw. There was another issue where her throw checks were too low, and it would hit the thing she was hiding behind, so she tended to only throw at enemies who were on the same side of cover as her. Basically, those checks were to see if she could throw, and if it failed, she would not. And both were fixed in the patch. She should be able to throw bricks and bottles as often as other buddies kill enemies. So yeah, that was something I noticed during my speedruns and my playthroughs. In the original, Ellie threw bricks and bottles pretty frequently. She did not do that very often here. So if I can show that off, again, the two things to mention are going to be ammo drops and Ellie. See if we can hear or see anything.
Ellie, run!
Coming from everywhere.
There's a drop. Alright, let's see Ellie. Where is she? Come on, Ellie. Come on, Ellie. For the video. Ellie, for the video. Come on. Well, that's another good thing to mention, because I didn't mention anywhere else. That's not a coincidence. Companions will get a runner or a human off of you. If you're pushed against the wall or grabbed, they will get them off of you a lot faster compared to how it used to be. I mean, she didn't help there.
Make a sound.
They said it'll happen more frequently, not like
Ellie, run! Run!
that it's guaranteed to happen, but look at all the ammo drops. Oh, it is also grounded, so she, like, there's a chance she's not doing it because I'm on grounded difficulty. Yeah, I think she's just not doing it because I'm on grounded difficulty. But yeah, if there's a few things to notice here, you will get a lot more shotgun ammo dropped. Ellie has a higher chance of throwing bricks and bottles, despite the fact I couldn't show it off here. And if you're grabbed or pushed against the wall, a companion will get that infected or human off of you a lot faster and cleaner compared to what it used to be. So, yeah. Now, let's talk about... hold on. I guess we can do it. No, I'll wait. I'll wait a second. Let's get inside the high school first. All right, we're in the high school. This is where we're gonna show off like a majority or all of the gameplay tweaks. This is the perfect place to show them off. First of all, there was a thing with the shotgun's fire rate where it would be kind of messed up. Hold on. All right, so look at this video. This is the fire rate of the shotgun in the original and the remake. This is the original. And the remake. Now, the worst thing about that was it would fill in white so it said it could be fired again, but it actually couldn't. Well, they fixed it. They fixed it. The fire rate is now pretty much as it was in the original. There's no longer like maybe like a tenth or just over a tenth of a second delay. Felt more than a tenth. Not exactly a quarter, but that tiny little bit that killed so many runs because I fired, and nothing happened. So this gets rid of it completely. Something I'm so happy that is... Yes, I'm rejoicing, basically. You shouldn't ever really struggle with firing this gun ever again. And what else should we mention? Yes, there was another problem in this game where, well, sprinting swings. There was shotgun glitch, which is basically you would hit square with the shotgun in your hand, and Joel would either not do a sprinting swing or he wouldn't even do a normal swing. Fixed. Completely fixed. Pretty much all the glitches are fixed. It's so cool. See that? Now, the way they were able to fix this was... Well, I don't know how they fixed it for the shotgun, but there's another thing that would happen where if you did a sprinting swing on an enemy that was charging towards you, Joel would, like, spiral around them. Well, for clickers, what they did is they change what they do when they get close to you, or when you swing. Watch this. I hit him in the back. I ended up hitting him in the back, but I didn't spiral around him. If you notice, the clicker stops what he's doing when I start my swing, and he's a little bit flat-footed. Now, with a runner, what happens is Joel doesn't keep moving forward. His swing is kind of flat-footed. So basically, you're not going to spiral around him. The reason you might hit a clicker in the back is because he literally stops his movement. He does this, and he does this kind of looking behind him thing. So you end up hitting him in the back sometimes. Mainly if you swing at him, like, when you're right on top of him. There's another clicker over here. See that? So the shotgun glitch of not being able to swing at them or sprint swing at them if you swing from far away is not there. It's gone. And the spiral swing is gone as well. There's another thing right here. Like I said, this is where we're getting all the glitches out of the way. There was also a glitch. I don't know if you knew this, but 2 sprinting swings with the bat wouldn't kill a clicker. It had to be a pipe. Well, as you just saw, it is now a kill. Oh, shit. So they fixed that as well. So, no more shotgun glitch, no more spiral swings, and no more, and you can kill a clicker with 2 sprinting swings with a bat. These are all just amazing quality of life improvements. There's another one that's really funny, and even Crooked, the developer, didn't know about this. It's so funny. Watch this. That runner normally falls down from the 2nd floor, but he doesn't normally do it that quickly. Like, from the moment you get alerted, he used to take about 3 seconds before he hit the ground. Now, the moment you're alerted, he just plops right down. It's so funny. Dinner's ready. There was also a glitch where that runner would despawn when you hit certain checkpoints in this building. Like when you go through that doorway right there, that runner would despawn and then respawn. It would respawn upstairs. It no longer does that. So, yeah. There was also a glitch where Bill would try to kill that runner even though it was flopping on the ground. Bill thinks he can kill it when he can't. Bill finally acknowledges that he cannot kill that runner. So, I'm trying to think if there's any more. No, that's pretty much it. Well, not pretty much. That's a lot of gameplay tweaks right there. So, yeah, all these things. This Bill thinking he can kill this runner, and this runner respawning up top when you do this, being able to kill with 2 swings of the bat. It's all just so amazing. Yes, what was the other one? Right. The shotgun rechambering. So, I always had a big issue with the shotgun because the game internally kept track of, like, the last time you used the shotgun, did you pump it before you either put it away or did something else? The game kept track of that kind of stuff. And personally, I just found it to be annoying. It doesn't add to the gameplay. It inconveniences it. But the main issue wasn't the fact that that mechanic exists. It mainly was, it took forever for the game to know if you did it or not. So this is what I'm talking about. If you fire and then swap to something else, The next time you pull out the shotgun, Joel has to do the pump thing before you fire. The problem before was, well, there were two problems. One, it would take forever for the game to notice. You'd pull out the shotgun and aim, and it's like, oh, right. But watch how quickly he does it when you're aiming. So watch this. He does it right away. You pull it out, he does it right away. Before, there would be about an entire second before he would pump it. It's literally a second faster. Which made me realize I don't hate the realistic mechanic, I hate how long it took for the game to notice. So we're getting ready. See that? It's so much better. And also, there were times before when I would hear the and then I'd put the gun away or hit triangle or something, and then I'd pull the gun out again and he'd do it again. I'm like, why? I already did it. It turns out before, the way it worked was he had to finish the entire pump. And even maybe like a few milliseconds after that. Now, pretty much all that needs to happen is like before the patch, he would have to pump it again. So really all that needs to happen is he gets like that far. And the game is like, all right, it's in the chamber. See right there? See that worked. That would not work before. I would say pre-patch, if I were to pull out the shotgun again, he would do the pump again. So those two things combined, just massive quality of life improvement. I love it so much. So you got the fire rate improvement. You have the fact that the game will pump the shotgun when you aim it again so much earlier. And the fact that counts as a pump instead of like both ways. That it's so much better. Any complaints I had about the shotgun are gone. And yes, that also affects the rifle as well. We can show this off in... Actually, yeah, this is better shown off in winter. I know we're not there yet, but since it's the topic of discussion, let me show it off in winter. Because the same thing happened with Ellie's rifle. She does the little, you know...
Keep your eyes open for anything we can use.
When you fire.
See anything?
But
Dead end.
if you interrupt it, the next time she aims,
We hold our ground.
she has to do that. But she does that animation an entire second earlier compared to before. And also, she doesn't have to finish the entire animation. She just has to get about that far. So, like...
Keep your eyes open for anything we can use.
Hold on.
See anything?
See, that counted. That's the perfect way to show that off. Look.
Keep your eyes open for anything we can use.
That technically counted.
See anything?
It's a dead end. How on earth did they use it?
Before, there's no way that would be the case. So, yeah. All of these, like... I wouldn't call them glitches before, but they were just massive, unnecessary inconveniences. Now you have the realism of the mechanic, but in a very not inconvenient way. And I love everything about it. I absolutely adore it. Because this shit was just ruining attempts, ruining areas. It made me just not enjoy realism in games anymore. I swear, playing this game for the first 7 months of its life was it just made me think, just like, take me back to how it used to be. Please, if this is the future, I want no part of it. Now I'm just like, this is fine. I love it. It just needed some tweaks. It didn't need to cut the concept completely. It just needed some tweaks. So I'm very, very, very happy with all this. But yeah, that's about it for like the main and major gameplay parts. Let's move on to something else. All right, we're in the truck push. This one is going to be listed as a negative. There's nothing wrong with like anything in the area or the AI or something like that. There's one little problem that wasn't present before, but we'll see if you can notice it.
I know how to pop a clutch.
How the hell did... You know what? I don't care. Just don't fuck it up.
All right, Ellie, get ready. Now, hit it. Hit it.
Hey, good job, kid.
The tires don't move.
Over there. Look out.
Shit.
Now, in terms of like, you know how it is. They, in games or in coding, you fix one thing, something else breaks. If this is what's broken as a result of all these changes, it's an acceptable loss. Exactly. It's purely visual. It's not like the truck doesn't move or something. Maybe they fix this one, maybe they don't. I don't know. But yeah, the tires no longer spin. At least the truck moves. That's all that matters. But yeah. Oops. I don't really care too much. Yeah, Ellie just needs to just let go of the handbrake. No matter what, the wheels will not move. Or maybe that's something specific to me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm loading up a file. Regardless, the tires don't work at least from loading up a file. Maybe they work if you do it from the school. I don't know. But yeah, I personally can't get this to not happen. So figured I'd throw this in there. Oh well. Next. Right now we're in hotel. The main thing that they've patched now is the game acknowledges smoke bombs in the hotel. I've talked about this before, but all of the smoke bombs in hotel before were glitched. If you picked up a smoke bomb prior, these ones wouldn't be here. But if these are the first ones that you pick up, before the game didn't really acknowledge it. If you picked it up with like the weapon swapping thing, like that, then it wouldn't even be in your inventory. But now, no matter what, it's there, and more importantly, it's also there when you like go to try and craft something. Before, the little smoke icon there wasn't even there. So there was something wrong with the smoke bombs specifically in the hotel. That's been fixed. There was also another thing wrong where when you pick up your first one, the game didn't despawn the later ones that were also in hotel. Naughty Dog decided to keep that in, because keeping that in is there to only benefit the player. If you know about that, then it's beneficial. I guess they just didn't want to remove or spend time and resources fixing something that would only hurt the player. So yes, the smoke bombs work. The game acknowledges that you have them and you can craft them. And the later ones in this building are not despawned, like how it was before. So, yeah, they fixed the smoke bombs. They kept the glitch, I'm calling it, of not despawning the later ones. So, really, we got the best of both worlds here. If you pick up this one, it probably won't despawn when you finish the sniper section, and you can have it in the dam and onward. So, it might be worth picking up the third one here from now on. Use it in a spot maybe later towards the end of the run. You never know. We pick it up, we might find a good use for it. Because that was also a problem. Because the game didn't really acknowledge that you had it, it would disappear from your inventory when you enter the dam. It was really weird. It's all kind of fixed now. So, yeah. Score 1 for the players. All right. Next. All right, we're in Financial District. There's a few things to mention. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about the begging. So the begging, I already showed off earlier in the video how you can, the camera won't like pan towards the enemy when he's begging for his life. But as for the actual beginning of the begging itself, it won't trigger if the enemy is on a different elevation compared to you, or if they're far away. Sometimes it was happening, there's a video of someone where it happened in Searchlight, where the enemy like came out from the window, he shot him, and he begged for his life all the way from up there. And I've had some experiences where an enemy begged from really far away. So they changed the begging to be proximity based, but he also has to be on the same elevation as you. And this video was just for fun, but this is one example right here where I swung at this guy on the table where there's parts, and he's begging for his life, and it just looks weird when he does it here, but this is just an example. He's doing the begging for his life animation on this table. It's a different elevation. But as you can see in this video, sorry, that's an alert. Cool guy, thank you for 26-month resub. I'm recording this live. If you do this swing here on this elevation, like this swing should normally force him into the begging animation. As you can see, that no longer happens. So they have to be close to you, and they have to be on the same ground level as you. And I really, really, really like that. Now for the next thing. So in the original, right over there, next to that tree, when you're finished with the area, Ellie would bring the rifle down that she uses in this area. And you could pick up the ammo that was inside after you skip the cutscene. In the remake, you could pick up the ammo, but only if you watched the entire cutscene through. If you skip the cutscene, the gun with the ammo wasn't there for some reason.
All right, come on down.
But now, they patched it in, so the ammo is there.
Now the safety.
Now it's 1 instead of 2, but it's still there. 1 bullet makes a big difference. So now, instead of going forward, you do the gun swap thing, you pick it up and you go on. That is, again, that wasn't there before, but now after the patch, that's there. You no longer have to watch the whole cutscene to get the ammo. And it's not that far out of your way. Yeah, for grounded, it's worth it. It's worth it if all your arrows break. That's where it's really worth it. So instead of just going forward, you go back and get the bullet.
Now the safety zone, do you know how to switch it off?
I might take advantage of this quite often. So, did they split it? No, there's still 1 bullet there no matter what. But, yeah, that's a really good one. I like that. So, yeah. Next thing. All right, so we are at the military truck. There are, like, 3 differences here. There are quite a few differences here. I'm just going to do the entirety of the military truck and see if you can notice them.
Nope. 7. Ellie, get away from him!
That was a really weird thing for them to shout. I've never heard that line of dialogue in this game. Oh well. I wonder if that was there in the original. Whatever. All right, so the 3 major differences are Joel has infinite sprint in this area. 2, that enemy that I threw the bottle at, not the smoke, but the bottle in the middle of this alleyway, he's stunned by it the whole time. And 3, the turret is a lot more inaccurate. These are literally in the patch notes. But the infinite sprint, that one's kind of obvious. Before this area, his sprint, the logic of his sprint would be would apply here. You sprint for too long or keep sprint held down for too long, he'd get tired eventually. Here, he never gets tired. He may huff and puff, but sprinting-wise, it's kind of like Capital. Capital, he doesn't have infinite sprint. This is, I think, the only area where he gets infinite sprint. He will never, ever get tired, which is very nice considering the difficulty of this area on Grounded. But there's another one here. Watch this enemy. There was a thing, even just as early as yesterday, if you bottle him and then, like, walk up to him, the stun will be canceled. So he just, like, ignores it after a while. As you can see, right here. Fixed. And I mentioned the military turret. Now, he might still die from this. Yeah, I still recommend doing the strategy of going in a zigzag. Like, what I do is normally, I go this way, and then this way. Just to guarantee you won't get, for some reason that guarantees you won't get clipped a second time, even with the old strat. But if you are getting shot at by the turret normally, it is not as accurate anymore, because that was a big problem with this area. Not just speedrunning, but casually. Casually, if you don't know the speedrun strategies, I honestly don't know how you're supposed to make it past, or what Naughty Dog wanted you to do. On Grounded, at least. No, even on the easier difficulties. It was just a really tough area to get past. So just doing all this, again. This is all still the same. But Joel has infinite sprint. This guy, you can get him there. And if you want and you have full health, you can see right there, perfect example. It's a lot more inaccurate. If you did that before, you'd be dead. You wouldn't be able to make it through, even with full health. And the infinite sprint should apply to running up here as well, even though the encounter with the turret is over. He has his sprint. Normally he's exhausted by this point, which, you know, I would be too, but
I think we lost him.
it's a game. I don't really care about his... I don't really care that realistically he'd be tired. I'm the one who controls him. So, yeah. Infinite sprint. The bottle guy will remain stunned. The truck is a lot less accurate. I don't know if there's any changes. I know the bow. I still got the bow thing. I don't know if there are any changes into how much damage the truck delivers. I think that's the same. But it's a lot less accurate now. So, that is a good thing. And, yeah, that's it for here. Alright, we're at Searchlight. The only main difference is not a big one, but with the strat that I currently do,
Let's try to take him out quiet.
I'll
follow your lead.
All right.
it involves this, and from
Over there.
From this point forward, I revolver all 4 enemies that come out. 2, 3. It's a lot easier when you don't have to deal with weapon sway glitch. That's not different. What's different is my next move is I aim at the guy manning the searchlight, and I kind of move him out of the way. But I think, yeah, he is way more likely, way more willing to hop down. And that's a good thing. Not necessarily good for the speed run, but I remember I had a run going like 2 months ago. I missed a couple shots and I ran out of ammo. The enemies that were up top refused, absolutely refused to hop down to Joel's level. And it was so annoying. They would not budge from up there. So the patch made it so any enemy that you miss or let get away, they're pretty much guaranteed to immediately, or they'll be more willing to hop down to the bottom level where Joel is. Because normally the guy manning the searchlight at the end, I have time to like aim at him and get him to dodge first and then clip him. But if some of these enemies are a little delayed, well, you might see it here. Look, he hopped down immediately, and it's this guy's natural instinct to also hop down. So, I hate when they dodge like that. But yeah, that's a small little thing there. All right, I'm in the bar now, and there was a problem that would happen here. Well, it was pretty much this. I'm not gonna have audio on. Here, look. If an enemy gets killed by the crate can barely be moved. You need to get some forward momentum. If you try and move it with a body touching it, you can't get any forward momentum, and you just can't move it. Now, they didn't patch the... what is it? They didn't patch the physics. They patched something else. It's actually a really cool fix. It might take me a few tries to get this. Well, I'll just tell you what happens and see if I can get it. Basically, if there's an enemy there, if you put the camera off of it, then on it again, it despawns. That's how they fixed it.
Sounds like they found one.
Alright, I'm trying to... This is kind of tough to get that to happen. On purpose. Do I have a bottle? Hold on. Alright, so this might work, it might not. He's in the way. And he's gone. Yes, perfect. Perfect. See that? The blood's still moving too. That's so good. Now, I did notice you can't despawn him if you're gripping this, and I think you can't despawn him if you're too close to him. But even if you're just that far away, if you do that, it even happens with the glass here. See that? Maybe I can get it to happen again. It's funny enough that it's worth a second look. Okay, so... Yeah, I can't get him to despawn there. But if I...
That was good.
Thanks.
You're right there. See, there's some contingency to it. You gotta be a certain distance away from him. Camera has to be a certain distance off of him. But yeah, that's how it happens. It's especially effective if you, like, kill this enemy in the back early, and then something happens where you take the camera off of him. So it can happen without you realizing, which I think is more their intended purpose. Like, what I usually do is Molotov right here. And if he ends up dying and this guy ends up begging for his life or something, like, hold on, maybe I can get it to happen.
Sounds like they found it.
There we go.
Spread out. They might come through here.
Alright, so that guy in the back. See that? Something happened, camera's off of him. Look, body's not here anymore. There's his gun. He's not here.
That was fucking close.
Now, if you're not paying attention, that one can easily just slip your mind. You know? So, yeah, that's more its intended mechanic. Because the example that I just showed you, that's kind of what happens. Where, like, the Molotov took him out, but the body was right by the cart, and then, yeah. That actually brings me to my next point. This is a good area to show this off. There's something that's really, really annoying with... well, before I show you, there's this thing. In the original game, if you swung a melee weapon at an enemy, like a sprinting swing, and it knocked them to the ground, all you had to do was hit square again. You didn't have to be sprinting. If you hit square again, Joel would do a finisher. But in this game, and it was so annoying. See right here. He's on the ground. It should be a kick or another swing if he still had his melee weapon. Now he punches him to his feet. See that? When you slow it down, it looks even stupider. Look at this. And it's the same, what the hell? Well, you get to see the speed thing break. Anyway. Yeah, it was the stupidest looking thing. Everything breaks for me, by the way, if you haven't noticed. But now...
Sounds like they found
Watch this. Flat-footed square prompt. Boom. It works just like the original now. Works just like the original. Which is a good thing.
Sounds like they found
So, sprinting swing, knock to the ground. Normal kill. Perfect. As it should be. And if the melee weapon breaks, it'll be a kick. You know, it works perfectly. So yeah, that's and this applies everywhere, not just here. But this is a good area to show it off. So, all right, next. All right, so we're at sewers, and this one's kind of funny. I'll just show off a video here. Watch what happens if you hit triangle right away on the grate here. Watch what Henry does. And then you're good. You're noticing a trend in this video by now. You hit triangle. Henry's here. And he doesn't run away.
Yeah. Ah, good job. I bet that goes right on through.
All right, same time.
And you just go. I love the fact that they change little stuff like this. Alright, now we're in sewers. And there was, there's two things here. I think one caused the other, but take a look. When you were doing this area, sometimes when you did a leap over this thing, the camera would point backwards. And then that would... You could still recover, like I did here. Oh, spiral swing. Doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, when you leap over this thing, sometimes the camera would just point backwards. Now, the reason for this is because if you do a leap over here from left to right, that's what caused it to happen. But also, when you do a leap over this thing, right about here, there's like a checkpoint that wasn't really a checkpoint. Basically, checkpoint and encounter would become just checkpoint, signifying that the area has ended, but it didn't. Like, it was put in there incorrectly. So, yeah, both of those things have been fixed here. as you'll be able to see. So there's checkpoint and encounter. I'm gonna kill this one. Do the leap from left to right. It's still checkpoint and encounter, and the camera never changed, so. Also, again, no spirals. Oh, that's dumb. No spiral swing. So yeah. You don't have to worry about the camera thing. And if you die, the game's not going to eat some of your ammo. And no shotgun glitch. No nothing. Area works perfectly as intended, basically. All right, next spot is at the end of sewers, and I know, a tire change. I'm recording this over the course of 2 days. End of sewers. The main difference here is when you're leaving the sewers. Let me show you what it normally looks like. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. What they did is it's very similar to the treehouse part of Graveyard, where Bill, Ellie, and Joel all had to be down from the treehouse. In the original, Ellie opens the door slightly, and she goes, "We got it." After she says that, you got to wait about 3 seconds before the game takes over and you're allowed to leave. In the remake, same thing, but now Henry has to be next to you in order to leave. And it creates chaos like that. It's stupid. This is so stupid. They rely on companions being next to you for checkpoints. It's so dumb. Because if he's off punching a runner, you're going to be there forever. They changed it, but in a specific way. It, what is it? It's still kind of the same thing. If it depends on where you're looking now. If you're looking towards the room and your back is to the door, you need to wait for Henry to be next to you. So it works the same there. But if you're, sorry, it's an alert. If you're looking towards the door, specifically where Ellie is on the other side of the door, the area ends right away. Now, I don't think an infected can be near you, but it's a little bit lenient. Here, let me show you. We're doing the area. It's normally this tense anyway. I heard the door. See that? Once that happens, you're safe, and you can leave. Now, again, I'm not exactly sure how well it works when there's an infected, like, swiping at you right there, but that is now a possibility. The key thing is you can't be looking backwards. So basically what you need to change is don't hang near the door the whole time. Wait for Ellie to say, "We got it," and then go for the door. That way you know there's not an infected near you. This was not possible before. Why they waited so long to make the change, I have no idea. Or why they made it the way it used to be in the first place. But it now works like this, which is very, very good. So, yeah, don't hang near the door. Only go towards the door after Ellie starts talking, and you should be fine. So, yeah, very nice change. Alright, we're at the sniper's nest now. This is one of my favorite changes. See if you can notice it right away. We have a lot of enemies to try this on, but just look. The bullet hits the enemy right away. There's no delay. The moment you fire, the bullet hits them. It's called hit scan, apparently. But before, there would be this, like, half-a-second delay from fire to hit. And, it made shots going, like when an enemy would move horizontally, it made shots so difficult. Now it's just like the original. Boom. So it hits them right away. Which allows for... You can sometimes clip the guy right there now. I don't really need to show anything more than that. It's... Well, hold on. I can... When an enemy's moving to the left, it allows a shot like this to be possible. Hold on.
Shit. Come on, guys.
Wait for it. Alright, watch this. Watch this. It allows a shot like that to be possible now. That would have whiffed so hard before. Look at that. There's no way you could do that before. I love it. I love it so much. This also applies to the hunting rifle that Ellie uses in winter and the one that Joel uses normally. Because there was a very, not as severe as this one, but a very tiny delay from the moment you fired to the moment the bullet hit the enemy with just a normal hunting rifle. That's no longer in there as well. So any rifle in this game, the moment you fire, it hits the enemy, and it makes everything just so much more convenient, as you can see. No excuses if you miss. None whatsoever. So, yeah, one of my favorite changes that they made. And, yeah, that's it. Alright, so we're on the dam right now, and there's quite a few differences here. First of all, this is the main one.
You guys see anything?
When the encounter is finished... So normally that was a good throw. When the encounter is finished, it would go from checkpoint to encounter. Now it stays as an encounter the entirety of the fight. Because what would happen if you died here, it would place you back over there. And you would be stuck because all the enemies here would be spawned in. Now the entire thing is one encounter. So right here, normally we'd be able to restart checkpoint. We still can. And it would place us right here. But before, this area was treated as two encounters. The one in the beginning, and then the final one. The time in between right here was treated as downtime. Now it's treated as one entire damn encounter, with some checkpoints still in the middle. But if I were to restart encounter, it would take me back all the way to the beginning. That wasn't possible before. What else? Also, this door right here, every now and then, it could soft lock, and the invisible wall... There would be an invisible wall in the doorway that you couldn't break through, and it would stay there forever. That's gone now. There was also a glitch with... we gotta go back here.
Shit! Bandits! Stop them! Don't let them into the building!
There was also a glitch... hold on. There was also a glitch, if anyone remembers.
You guys see anything?
If you were on the dam when the enemies were killed, extra enemies would spawn on the other side of this door, and this strategy wouldn't work. Now that's still a thing, but the main difference is... The main difference now is... Joel is no longer getting shot from behind cover. Again, there was this random weird glitch. There was this random weird glitch where Joel would get shot from behind cover if enemies were like patting themselves out in that doorway. I never knew if it was like a glitch or if it was like a speedrun strat prevention thing. So the extra enemies spawning in and the Molotov not working is still a thing. You still don't want to be on the bridge when Tommy says, you guys see anything? Or something like that. But the risk of dying as a result of messing up the strategy, that's no longer a thing, and there will never ever be an invisible wall on the door anymore. So, and you still have the checkpoint in the middle of the fight there, but now you don't have to worry about the checkpoint being cruel to you, and you can go back to the beginning of the fight if you choose to. So, a lot of good quality of life improvements on the dam. Literally only positives. So, yeah, I don't think there's nothing different in the next room. So, yeah, just continuous good shit from Naughty Dog. All right, we're in the ranch building now. This one's kind of minor, but if you look carefully at this video, this one, watch Joel's weapons when the shotgun specifically, when he takes it off and then puts it back on his back. You see it right there? It looked kind of weird. It's like floating a little bit. And then when he puts it away, it like flies back. It looks even weirder when you try and aim it after you pull it off real quick, or you take it out. The reason for that is there was a problem with the game still thinking you were on the horse. When you're on the horse, you can't aim, but for some reason, the game thought you were still on the horse or something like that. So when you took out your left holster gun, it would be all floaty and weird, and when you like put it on your back or take it off, it would just look really weird, and it looked even weirder when you aimed it. Basically, Joel's hands would be here, and the gun would be like doing this. It's really weird, but as you can see,
Ellie!
they fixed it. It was also a thing with Ellie right after Callus dies. The same thing also happened there.
I'll keep an eye out.
But as you can see,
You guys need to have a chat.
they fixed it. But this also brings me into my next one, which is right here. So there's an animation. I made a whole video on this. There's an animation when you have a pipe and an enemy has a machete. If Joel whiffs, you can hit triangle, block it, and then throw them off to the side. It looks a bit like this. Hold on. Yeah, looks a little bit like this. Come on, pal. And you have to hit triangle to make that happen. If you do nothing, he just hits you. Come on, pal. It looks really cool. Now, this is the original game. This is the original game. In the remake, here, watch. Right there, did you see that? Did you see the triangle prompt pop up? Triangle is right there. So Joel's supposed to whiff, and then you have to hit triangle to block it like before, but he never whiffs. That's a glitch. It's not supposed to behave that way. If I can get it, basically they fixed it so Joel will now whiff as it's supposed to. I'll give it a few tries to see if it'll happen, because it's a pretty rare animation. Yeah, I might not be able to get it, but basically it's fixed now. So, on the off chance you get this pretty rare animation, Joel will now whiff, and triangle is the only way to make it so you don't get hurt. Come on, third time's a charm. And he goes against the wall. We'll get, come on, I'll just show it off once. There it is. Ow. Ow. Oh, and again. Okay, so yeah, right there. He actually really does whiff now. Little triangle prompt doesn't pop up, but that's mainly because it's grounded. But yeah, there it was twice. So yeah, Joel now actually whiffs. Basically, it's the original game mechanic working as intended in this game, and it didn't work as intended before the patch, but now it does. So yeah, two little fixes here in the ranch, which are, well, this one applies elsewhere, but very rare you find an enemy with an axe or machete, and you also have a pipe. This is really one of the only spots. So, yeah. Cool beans. All right, so now we're in university, and I don't know why I took this long to show this one off, because this is actually a major, major gameplay improvement. Should have shown this off in high school. In Remake, the way it used to be, if you threw a brick or bottle at a clicker and then swung a melee weapon at it, it didn't matter whether or not you threw a brick or bottle at it before. The swing would be normal. It wouldn't be an insta-kill like it is in Part 2 with specific weapons, or in the original. A stunned anything and a melee weapon swing is an insta-kill. Not in this game, though. But I am pleased to announce they patched it. It is now an insta-kill. This is a big deal. It doesn't even matter if you're sprinting. It is now an insta-kill, and it was not before the patch. Speedrunning-wise, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do with this. Casually, that's huge. I don't know why they left that out in the first place. Because if you remember in the original, there was the problem with not Shiv Master. Sometimes if you threw a brick or bottle at a clicker, it would just brush it off to the side and it wouldn't get stunned. That was the problem with the original. But in the remake, yeah, they didn't get stunned. Now they do. And they always get stunned by the brick or bottle. That isn't anything new, but yeah. Brick or bottle throw, melee weapon swing is an insta-kill every time. No exceptions. Yes. Alright. Sort of the last one here. This is the start of winter. This one's very brief. It has nothing to do with the encounter, or like the performance of the area. Pretty much nothing going forward has anything to do with the performance of the area. With this area, the biggest change is... sorry, I just like doing this strategy. I love hitting the deer there. This is no longer considered an encounter. This area always used to be checkpoint and encounter. But what it did is... it made it so there was pretty much no downtime at all from here through almost the entirety of winter. So perma-runners would sometimes quit here, and it would count as a death. And there's really no reason for that, because Ellie can't die or take damage. Maybe there's a fall high enough she can take here, but besides that... I wonder if there's a fall death she can take somewhere in here. Anyway, besides that, this area is no longer considered an encounter. So if you're doing permadeath, you can quit here. And you'll be able to continue it from an autosave file. And you're allowed to do that now. It's pretty much the only change. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just going to go over some stuff I forgot to mention. Like right at the beginning. Sensitivity no longer goes up in bulks of 10. It goes up in bulks of 1 now. Or it used to be from 1 to 10. Now it's 1 to 100. Because something I always kind of wanted was a sensitivity lower than 1. Now we kind of get that when it's out of 100 instead of out of 10. So, if you want the settings like what they used to be, if you were comfortable with the settings before, then you just keep it where it's at, plus a 0 at the end, you know? But I know me personally, I put it down to like 5 for my aiming sensitivity. I keep these the same, but I put these down to like 5 now, and it makes my aiming a little bit better. Some other stuff. Enemies they either don't aim from the side anymore, or they aim a lot further to the side, so they're a lot easier to hit. Because in a lot of areas, slums and financial specifically, I would have a really hard time hitting the enemies there. In slums, they don't do it at all anymore. But in financial, there was one enemy behind one of the concrete things where he would peek out and there was almost nothing to hit on him. Now, he still does it there, but you're able to hit him a lot easier, which is a good thing. There was also a glitch with... hold on, I gotta find the video, hold on. Or here it is, there's quite a few of them here. This was really, really funny when it happened, but this one's a minor one. If you did a throat punch on an enemy, the game would take so long for him to recognize that he's dead that Joel would be able to hit him again with something else. So it looks like this. The first one's supposed to kill him. You're not supposed to hit him again afterwards. They patched that. You can no longer do that anymore. Oh, there's also this one of my favorite clips. This is specific to the head bashing animation on a runner. Whenever you would do that, I got it. A runner would choke you. And he would do the human kill there. They patched that. That can no longer happen. But at least we have this in video form before it was patched. I got it. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. I love it. Where else? Oh, yes, one of my favorite clips. The infected begging for their life animation, just like humans. See that? They briefly go into the begging animation where they're the last runner. That was a big deal because the swing you would do on it afterwards was kind of slow. So, yeah, they patched that. Infected no longer beg for their life, unfortunately. What else? Yeah, there was a problem with the El Diablo scope where you were aiming it isn't actually where the bullet would land. Not when you're aiming it normally, but with the scope. That's been fixed so it actually goes where you aim it, only through the scope. And I saved the best for last. This one's cool. If you remember, I put out a video talking about cutscenes you need to watch to save time in a speedrun because we use speedrun mode as the official timing method for console. Here, I'll put speedrun mode on. And the little timer will be on the top right. So what would happen when you skip a cutscene and when you restart an encounter, there would be like a 1 second, there'd be about a second added onto the timer. Here, hold on. I'll bring up one of my my record. So look, eventually play it on. I skip the cutscene, and it counts for about an entire second before anything happens. Now, where is there a restart checkpoint? I just need to show off one example here. Right here. All right, look at the timer right here. Every time you do a restart checkpoint, it counts for a second while you go for the door here. But now, watch the timer. It only counts during black screens. And if I were to restart checkpoint, or it only counts during when there's something on the screen. There's no more counting during black screens. So on skip cutscenes and restart checkpoints, it's no longer counting the downtime. So that means we just saved over a minute by doing nothing. That is awesome. Which means I gotta go back and update my grounded record with the new times, and good thing I only did one category over the course of 7 months. But yeah, this is a big one. This is a big one. Again, it doesn't count during a black screen. Although I wonder, hold on. No, when the screen is black, it's not going. And yeah, that's pretty much it. With regards to the PC version, because I haven't made the switch over to the PC version yet. I'm waiting for it to become a little more stable. But everything that Naughty Dog patched into the console version with regards to the speedrun timer, with regards to the strategies, to the gameplay tweaks, that's all in the PC version. So what they did to the PC version, they pretty much patched into the console version, minus the performance issues. So basically, those two versions are pretty much the same now. Joel getting his sprint speed back a lot faster, There was another one. Something I forgot to mention. Enemies, when they're aiming at you, if you peek, they'll hit you like the moment you peek. Now they won't hit you for, I think it was maybe 0.2 of a second after you peek. Like the moment you're able to be hit, they won't hit you until like 0.2 of a second afterwards, which is enough time to get a shot off on them, which is all we ever asked for. It was always the single most annoying thing ever, when the moment a micropixel of your hitbox was available to the enemy, they would hit it. And it was the most annoying thing because it just took the gun out of your hands. Now, you don't have a lot of time, but now you have a chance to hit them. That was another change they made. But yeah, in terms of strategies and speedrun mode and all this, console and PC are now virtually the same. It's now very different, but it's now the same. And it's for the better. It's for the better. The main difference now is the PC version, I mentioned this before, but the PC version is not timed with speedrun mode. It's timed with ASL, which is like a script language. I forget what it stands for, but it's almost the same. It's pretty much the same thing. In-game time, it doesn't count during pauses and load screens, but now it'll count during cutscenes. And yeah, but the change does... Console is still going to be timed with speedrun mode because you can't really do that timing method that you do on PC with console, so it's still all valid for console. But we no longer have to like watch any of the cutscenes to save time because of when the timer starts up now. There's no longer waiting a second for the stuff, and yeah, that's about all the changes we've noticed and have seen. There's also some other stuff on the patch notes, like apparently in the hospital, if you shot one of the nurses, apparently they would be invincible to flamethrower. I guess that's been fixed. I don't know. That one's weird. But yeah, other stuff and quality of life improvements. The big ones I'm most happy about are the sniper, the weapon sway glitch, the shotgun, the sprinting swings, the spiraling swings. All that's been fixed, and yeah, this game is like, you could argue this is now the superior version because of all of the just improvements that were made. Even like just the enemies taking longer to recover from Joel jabbing them. It's such, not begging randomly, everything I went over in this video, just in one patch. It's so awesome, and I commend the hell out of Naughty Dog for actually patching this 7.5 months later. It's crazy, but this is now just so... This game is just so... It's in a much better place now. It is so much better than it was just 2 or 3 days ago. So much better. When I did my runs, it just felt like I was constantly fighting, not any enemies, but I was fighting the game, the controls, the glitches, everything. Now it's like we can just play. And you know, I'm sure we'll still come across some things that inconvenience us, but oh my god, it is so much better now. It is so much better. It's no longer glitch prevention %. Exactly, yes. But alright, that's pretty much it. I don't need to make a video for this for the PC version because everything I mentioned here is the same for the PC version. So, yeah, all the PC version needs is some patches to affect the performance, not any technical gameplay glitches. Other than that, it's fine, but yeah. This is, again, it's very, very cool that Naughty Dog actually went back and listened to the community and made these fixes, because again, I'm no longer dreading playing this game, because for a while there I was. It just seemed like something weird happened every single day that just made us just shake our heads even further. It's like, the 10-year-old version did it better than this. So, yeah. That's about it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.